Learning languages in a public school in Colombia.
What a tragic experience.
First, teacher might be so good in their subject, but...
Welcome back to another episode of Exploring Education Experiences. I'm your host, Valentina, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of learning languages at school, specifically in the context of Colombia. Joining me is Valeria, a pre-service teacher who will share her insights on this topic. So, let's get started!
Thank you for having me, Valentina. It's a pleasure to be here and discuss language learning in Colombia schools. To begin, let's reflect on our own experiences in school and identify some policies that might be relevant. Going back, in my experience learning languages in Colombia, it was a mixed bag. While the enthusiasm of some teachers really motivated me, the lack of consistent language exposure outside the classroom made it challenging to fully grasp the languages. I also noticed that the focus was more on grammar and vocabulary memorization, rather than practical communication.
It sounds like you had a typical experience that aligns with common language learning policies, that bilingual education policy, which prioritize formal grammar and vocabulary over real-world communication. And also, something that is outrageous is that those policies don't state how to teach, just what students are supposed to achieve, leaving teachers with doubts and few resources.
Yeah, that's right. Could you elaborate a little bit more? It sounds like you have some experiences of your own.
Of course, all middle-class people that studied in public schools can relate with our talk. The ministry should consider research indicating that language is most successful when it's integrated into daily life. This means creating an environment where students are exposed to the language outside the classroom. In the context of Colombia, this could involve encouraging conversations in the target language, incorporating multimedia resources like movies and songs, and perhaps even setting up language exchange programs with native speakers.
Those ideas sound fantastic! I remember how speaking with native speakers really boosted my confidence and practical skills.
Yep, those tools can really enhance effective learning. However, we need to talk first about assessment policies. How were language skills evaluated in your school experience?
Assessment policies often play a crucial role in shaping language learning. I experienced traditional methods, such as written exams focusing solely on grammar and vocabulary. The problem is that it might not provide a holistic picture of language proficiency. Therefore, various experts suggest that assessing based on performance that examines a student's ability to understand and express themselves in real-world situations provides meaningful feedback and improves students' interest.
I completely agree. Practical assessments would have been a game changer in my language learning journey. Now, considering the diverse linguistic landscape of Colombia, where multiple languages are spoken, were there any policies or initiatives to acknowledge this diversity?
Colombia's linguistic diversity is indeed a valuable aspect to consider. Recognizing and respecting the various languages spoken within the country can contribute to a more inclusive education system. Policies that promote bilingual education instead of ethno-education, a derogatory term that doesn't acknowledge indigenous bilinguals, or the effort of learning their mother tongue and Spanish, should be widely spread.
It is important to clarify because society tends to misunderstand what bilingualism is and just think about the main languages like French, Chinese, English, or German. However, being bilingual is having knowledge in two different languages, whether it be Spanish-English or Spanish-Sicuani.
The second or first language can be any of the 65 indigenous languages from our country. It is still available knowledge and something to be highlighted, since learning or knowing a language it is not just storing a bunch of words in our brains.
Exactly. When you know Spanish, in this case Colombian Spanish, you get to know the culture, the customs, and even history. Now, figure what knowing every of these aspects means to indigenous languages that are in danger of being forgotten.
Awareness is key and the first step to protect the languages of our territory, our history, and culture.
This is also important because, as the philosopher Jorge Agustín Nicolás Ruiz de Santayana y Borrás said, those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it.
That's accurate.
And well, we would like to talk more, but time's up. Thank you, Valeria, for being in this podcast. We all learned a lot and hope changes in education happen soon. Talk to you guys in the next opportunity, next exam week.